during the course, it made me realize that I was approaching courses on a very similar fashion as I usually do the face-to-face courses. So I was using the same tools, I was using the same approaches, the same even philosophical stance to approach online teaching. And the course was a bit of an eye-opening experience, I would say, that, well, it is a completely different world, and it can actually, and it should be done differently. So I think this is a bit abstract what I'm saying, but I think this feeling that just open your mind and try to do things differently. And I had the feeling before starting the course that you should have a video and you should present the presentations. And with all the tools and all the different approaches we learned, I realized that no, online teaching is actually different. You should actually do it differently. So I think this is the most important outcome I got out of the course. Well, I think in my classes I usually tend to have a lot of participation. So my classes are all about conversation, discussing, and to have a dialogue with students. So I think in the first place it was for me to find a way to do the same in online teaching. Use all the tools we have in online teaching to actually achieve the same outcome, to have this conversation between the students and myself and among the students. So I think this is the biggest challenge, I had. Yeah. With the YouTube course, I think we got to know a lot of tools, but even more important, we got to know a lot of approaches, how to actually engage students. I cannot have a conversation with them. Well, I could, like if I have some kind of video communication or Skype call, but I think I learned that I could actually do the same things differently. So I can basically have the same type of interaction, but it's just as I said, done differently. So I think that was the most positive outcome. And also, like, we tend to think, at least that's how I felt, that if I don't have a video presentation in my online course, something is missing. I tend to approach it on a very similar way as the face-to-face courses. I have an online course, but I still have video presentations. And it helped me understand that it's not all about video. There are like many other ways to do it, and probably even more positive ways in that sense. Well, it was, I think, very interesting when I developed this course, the research methods course. The first implementation, it was actually very, very nice, because I had one activity in the beginning to engage them from the very beginning, in which I asked them to basically show where they are studying from in which city or in which country they are studying. And I do the same. And we could see that we were all over the world, literally. I was in Barcelona at that moment. There were many students here in Finland, some students in Russia, one student was in China at that time. So we were like also working with all the time differences. I don't know how simplistic this might sound, but I think what I come to notice after teaching, well, at the moment I think I have been teaching probably 10, 15 courses online. What the students need is they need to know that there is a teacher, that there is someone there. So what I tend to do is, for instance, if they have some reflective diaries, which is something I use in the online teaching, I always spend some time and I comment on every single reflective diary individually. And someone might think like, well, that takes a lot of time. But then again, like, it takes 2-3 minutes to answer each student. And if you compare it with a face-to-face course in which you would actually teach 4 hours a week, 6 hours a week, this is basically the only thing you have to do per week. Well, depends on how you organize the course. But I think it's important that the students know there is someone there. Everything happens in the learning platform. So you are not dealing with emails plus forms. So you have a certain set of rules of communications, and everything actually, and everyone follows those rules.